This video is for educational purposes only. Well, not only, but mostly for educational. Just read this text. And now let's go into the video. Through the dawn of man, people have masturbated to 2D art. Mona Lisa. Da Vinci's painting. I think Da Vinci made Mona Lisa. Michael Phelps. Thomas the Tank Engine. Corey in the House. Stonehenge. But all of that was put together to make hentai. And when the day Miyazaki made hentai, we once realized humanity is pretty fucked. So in today's video, I will be looking at wholesome and disturbing hentais that I've compiled into an iceberg. This is not an original idea. In fact, this is not even the original video. I have an older video that I made a couple months ago, and I also have a version that you probably will never see again because it got my channel a strike. And this is a re-upload that I have fixed a couple things where I blurred some stuff, or you just don't see anything at all, so I do apologize for that. But today we'll be looking at many hentais, and this is inspired by an iceberg on Reddit, and I have changed a few things because most of it is pretty boring. So I do hope you enjoyed this video, and let's actually get into these hentais. Itadaki Seiki. Okay, so you might recognize this hentai because of this girl. You've probably seen her everywhere on anime forums or just Reddit. But I'm not gonna lie, this hentai's story is very fucking boring. I mean, just listen to my reaction when I was watching this shit. This is dog. This is literally dog. So this hentai basically just starts off with the girl bringing this dude, a pretty boring looking dude, into a gym shed, and she attempts to knock him out with like a fucking super kick, but it doesn't work. So she then explains to him that she's a vampire and she needs to suck his blood, but it turns out she hates the taste of blood. So the guy offers his semen instead of blood, and she ends up having his semen every day for lunch, and they end up getting caught. And it just turns plain fucking weird. And to summarize how I thought about this fucking scene, let's just go back to something I said a bit earlier. This is dog. This is literally dog. So yeah, this hentai of course starts off with some decent stuff, and then it just goes to a weird gangbang scene. Overflow is a hentai about these two sisters and their brother. Stepbrother. But basically this hentai starts off with a guy going inside an apartment, and they get mad at him for not getting pudding. Who the fuck eats pudding in 2022? So this guy just decides to go inside the bath, and both of them come in with him. And of course, you know what happens in a hentai when a boy and a girl is inside a bathtub. They have sex. A very, very fun time. I want to kill myself. So these siblings start having sex in the bathtub with one of the girls not even knowing. And this hentai is basically just these siblings getting into situations where they have sex. And yeah, that's basically this hentai. So pretty fucking decently good shit. Tonari no re no Aneta-san. This hentai is the basic dark-skinned, big-breasted lady hentai that is just like most of them, like these for example. So this lady named Aneta moves into an apartment, and I think it's customary in Japan to greet your neighbors when you move in, and she then meets Mr. Degenerate over here, and he just proceeds to beg her to show him her boobs like a fucking Indian dude on Facebook.
Hello, your computer has virus.
And for some reason she just decides to do it. And yeah, they do all the hentai shabazz, you know, yada yada yada. And I can't really show anything, so here's just some sample audio. Kanajo. This is the hentai where this guy moves into a house, and in this house there's three girls: blonde-haired girl with twin tails, a pink-haired girl, and an older girl with light purple hair. The scenes in this hentai is pretty good for how long ago this was made, and it's still pretty much is good nowadays. But yeah, I'm not gonna get too much into the story, but basically he just has sex with all of these girls. Kimigasuki. Kimigasuki is a hentai about a love story between these two high schoolers, and this hentai starts off with them in a bike, And I'm not gonna lie, the animation in this is pretty fucking fire. Both the doujin and the hentai look very good. This basically looks like a Makoto Shinkai movie, except it's a hentai. I mean, look at this. All right, here, I'll show a scene just to show how good the animation is. So this is basically just a love story, and the first part of the episode has a really cool fireworks scene, and you could pretty much tell that the animators, you know, they spend their time on it, all right? But yeah, this hentai is just some really good vanilla stuff. Hitozuka ga nigata no miboji no Yukiyona-san. So this hentai is the current popular hentai on hentai, and it is actually pretty fucking good. This is a fully colored hentai, so yeah, you can pretty much tell why it's so popular. But this hentai is about a guy who inherited an apartment complex from his dead father, and this apartment caters to yokai. And no, I'm not talking about these yokais, I'm talking about these yokais. And he meets a woman who is a Yukiyona, and to describe a Yukiyona, it's basically like Elsa from Frozen, you know, with the white hair and being able to freeze people. So he gets pretty close until he confronts her about not paying her rent, and he brings up her dead husband, and she proceeds to freeze his legs to the ground because she's angry. So she continues to avoid him, and this guy brings out a ring that was passed down between his family generation to generation. That it's a ring, okay? This ring allows him to control yokais, and he makes her have sex with him, and he basically just gets squeezed out like a damn sponge because Yukionas in this world are very fucking horny. And yeah, that's basically this hentai. It's some pretty good stuff. Joshi Kosai Rick's thoughts. This hentai is about a Shota who basically gets dominated by these thick ass high school girls. And if you don't know what a Shota is basically just a little boy. And yeah, this hentai is a meme. You probably recognize it already, but I put it here because, you know, it's a fucking good meme, okay? I basically put this for the memes. Victorian Maid Maria. Victorian Maid Maria is a generic hentai about a maid having sex with her master or lord. And yeah, it's a basic generic maid hentai. Of course, there is some dialogue, but it's basically just what I said before. Anodachi no Tsumatachi wa. This hentai is about an apartment filled with these slutty married women, and they basically NTR their husband, or these ugly bastards come into this apartment and NTR, alright? So I'm not gonna judge you if you like this, but the art is decent. It's sort of a messy art style that it is kind of hot, alright? I'm not gonna lie, you know, I once thought I was gonna do it to this once or twice, but you know, I ended up going through. But yeah, if you like this hentai, I won't blame you, but yeah, that's basically it. Seiyariman. Seiyariman is a hentai where this businessman is just depressed because his wife and daughter left him, and you know, he's feeling like he hasn't accomplished much until he's approached by this ginger-haired girl, where he has sex with her, and he finds out he's actually a fucking beast in the bed. Yeah, also this guy, he did become a Chad in a sort of way, where he kind of gotten better, but yeah, he kind of turned to a little bit of a puss when he meets like these delinquents. Yeah. Real Edoge Situation. Real Edoge Situation is a hentai that is some of the finest class hentai that you can ever see. It's basically a slideshow, but it does the job right in many ways. In this hentai, there's two girls that is from his high school, and one is his childhood friend. Yeah, this hentai was like one of the first hentais I've ever seen, and yeah, I do recommend this one because it has good animation, good whatever a hentai is you like. It's just good vanilla stuff. And yeah, I do recommend watching this shit. Masterpiece. Masterpiece is a hentai where this guy parents died and he gets adopted into a family with this hot ass MILF and these two little girls. And they do get hotter later, but we're just gonna be skipping forward a bit. So in the future, these girls look hot as hell, and this guy ends up getting nagged on because, well, he's related to them, and he ends up dating one of them. And yes, they are his legal sisters, so is it Alabama? And who fucking knows? So he ends up dating one girl, and the other girl gets jealous, and a dilemma happens. But eventually, he just ends up having sex with both of them knowing. And you know, both of these girls are fine. You know, they're perfectly fine. You can masturbate to it easily, but nothing beats the MILF part. Like, god fucking damn, the MILF part just by far top of the class shit. Okay, you cannot beat this part. Just skip to that part. Don't even these girls. Don't even worry about them. Just go to the MILF part. Okay, I just saved you some time. Eroge de Subite. Eroge de Subite is a hentai about an eroge club, and this club is filled with many girls and one guy. I think we all know where this is going. So in this club, their main purpose is to make an eroge. And if you don't know what an eroge is basically a Japanese porn game, which is very ineffective if you actually do want to jack off. You can just go to Pornhub and find some good ass JAV type shit. I don't know what Japanese be looking up, alright? Here's an image of what Japanese people love to look up on P-Hub. But yeah, that's basically it. Eroge de Sugute. Pretty bussin', I would say. Yokoso Sukube Elf no Mori. So this hentai is about a guy who walks up to this lolly that he meets in the street, and he gets teleported into this world. And in this world, he is a messiah that brings peace to this world. He meets this young beautiful elf, and eventually he is led to this tree place where he meets some dark elves and normal elves. And he ends up making peace in this world using his penis, because all of these elves just fawn all over him, not caring about the multi-hundred-year war that they had before. And yeah, this is some pretty wholesome stuff. I would recommend this one because it is actually some good animation stuff, and if you don't want any other males in it except for one dude, I guess you can do this. So yeah, this is some actual wholesome chungus stuff, whatever the saying is. All right, let's go to the next part of the iceberg. Shoujo Ramene. Shoujo Ramene is a well-known hentai that are about these three lollies and this old ass man that basically just exploits them into having sex with him. So in this anime, there's multiple girls, including a brown-haired girl, and he exploits her with candy. The white-haired girl, he exploits her with information to make the brown-haired girl fall in love with her. And yeah, the white-haired girl has a crush on this girl, alright? Yes, there is a lesbian scene later on the hentai, but I'm not gonna get too much into it. It's not too bad, but you know, at the same time, I don't want to get demonetized, alright? He exploits this girl, the black-haired girl, by saying he's helping her become an idol. I know in a lot of idol stuff, there's a lot of exploitations of the girls that are in it, but this just takes it to a new level, alright? So all I gotta say about this is be careful watching this, because the FBI is really about to get your ass for watching this, alright? Incha Bishoujo wa. So this hentai is about a high school girl who has a very sexual body and has struggled her whole life because of it. Many things have happened to her, such as teachers attempting to, grape her. Okay, I'm not gonna say it because I think that's a very high offense on YouTube. So yeah, so she had to move schools multiple times because of that. And for some odd reason, they left her alone inside of a room with this very buff ass teacher who's just addicted to sex. So of course, as a very horny dude and a girl with a sexual body and a hentai, you know what happens. So this guy ends up her, and if I'm be honest, the scenes are pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty good art, but you can't help but feel bad. But the art is pretty good. There's at least 3 chapters of this hentai, and the next 2 are just plain NTR, alright? But yeah, it's way worse than the first ones. Urajuto Hime. This is the hentai where there's one ugly ass bastard and a bunch of high school girls that are stuck in an island. In this island, all the girls have a disease that will kill them unless they consume cum like yandere dev.
Fortnite Chug Jug.
And of course, since the girls don't want to die, they fawn all over this very fat, disgusting looking dude. Man looking like Chris Chan in 20 years. And it does get weird. They somehow get out of the island and all of them are just pregnant. There's just multiple women that are just pregnant and they're in a jacuzzi of some sort. Yeah, it's very weird. Fuzoku Gakuensai. Fuzoku Gakuensai is a hentai where this guy gets this card from this high school girl to exchange it for sex. He gives it to a high school girl and bam. I don't really know why this card is so valuable, but this is exactly what people with NFTs want to happen. Like they expect something this fucking ugly, right? This monkey, alright? This $200,000 monkey. But like I said earlier, this is exactly what people with NFTs this is what they want to happen with it, alright? They expect you to treat them like this.
I asked you to please not like screenshot it. What did you do? You screenshotted it.
Arbor Night Iris. Arbor Night Iris is a weird hentai combination of mythical and space, and it has a weird ass monster tentacle scene that I really just cannot describe. I think I can show a bit of it, but I have to blur it. Here you go, I'll show it. There's many more weird stuff in this, and yeah, if you like this, then go ahead. I won't shame you, because what you beat your meat to is what you beat your meat to, alright? I'm not gonna fucking blame you. Heartful Mammon. Heartful Mammon is a pretty good MILF hentai. Like, Jesus, alright? Like, look at this fucking art. It's pretty good. And this hentai is about a guy who had lost his mom, and his dad just comes back with the milk, and he also has a MILF. So this guy is of course sad because his mom has died, but after looking at this MILF, he feels a little bit happier. And of course, I think I would too. I would still be sad, but after something like this, I think I would be a little bit happy. So they end up having sex, because it's a hentai. What do you expect on a hentai iceberg? And yeah, it's just really decent shit. I think the MILF master himself, C-Dog VA, would like this. Dropout. Dropout's hentai world is a little bit confusing, but let me explain it in the most easiest way I can. So in this world, there's these women, mostly high school girls, called dropouts. And these women are people who have not been able to go into any workforce after high school and are put into this program and to basically just become sex dolls to these people that have like the highest grades. And this hentai is just the main guy. He gets like the most popular girl and all of the guys just get jealous of him. And yeah, this hentai's world is pretty fucked. You know, there's a scene where there's a bunch of guys in a restroom, and then every like urinal and just toilet is replaced with just women. And yeah, the story is pretty well made, and yeah, I think this is worth your time watching. Doki Doki Little Uya-san. This hentai is about a lolly landlord and this big ass dude. I mean, this guy is fucking huge. This man is like Shaquille O'Neal type big. This man is like 3 sizes taller than her. This man looks like the fucking giants from Elden Ring. Like, look at this, bro. So basically, she comes in every month for the rent, but also serves him by cooking him food and cosplaying and having sex with him in the cosplays. So to describe this hentai, imagine this huge ass dude and this tiny ass girl just getting rammed, alright? Just getting fucking rammed. Ikage no Sono e Yukoso. So this hentai also happens to be a meme hentai, and I have no idea if this is the original, but I put this here because I've seen this meme everywhere and I also recognize the girls in this. So it's basically all of the girls, but they're not the personality that is shown in the memes. So yeah, I just wanted to share that this is the sauce for it, alright? I found the sauce. Sono bisque da wa h o soru. So this hentai is kind of like the anime, except Gojo couldn't keep his hands to himself while changing her cosplays. And yeah, this is kind of like how an episode of the anime would be if it was R-rated, but yeah, this hentai is kind of good. It's really good looking. It almost looks like the manga without all of the shiny stuff in it, but yeah, this is really good.
Tactical nuke incoming!
Reward. So this is a hentai made by an artist named Ratatatata74. You might have seen a lot of their work. They're mostly known for NTR, and let me explain why I chose this one out of many others. All right. So in this hentai, there's a woman, and she keeps hearing her neighbor basically getting bitches and making a lot of noise. So she tells him to keep it down, but for some reason she gets horny over it, and she gets a dildo that's the same skin color as him, which is I'm just gonna say it, black, right? It's black. And eventually she ends up making a lot of noise, and this guy, all right, just comes to her room and basically tells her to shut the fuck up. And she opens the door, and here I'll just show the panel, all right? You can tell what's gonna happen. But you know, this is an NTR story, so of course NTR is very hated in any sense of hentai, alright? People hate NTR hentai. But why do you think this one is bad in the community? Let's do a hentai quiz. So, try to guess what the problem is with this hentai. A, the NTR. B, the way this guy gets some bitches unlike people in this comment section in this hentai. Or C, his skin color. Or D, D's nuts. It's C, alright? So, I don't know why, but people have just become very racist in this comment section to the point where people have made a version where they lighten the skin of this guy, alright? It's not very Redux, so don't, give hate to them. But, people have just become horrible. I will just show a bunch of them, alright? But yeah, this is really horrible to look at, alright? Yarishin Katekoyoshi. So basically, this is a hentai where this guy NTR's an ugly bastard. And yes, you heard me right. This guy NTR's an ugly bastard, not the other way around. And for some reason, this guy, you know, he didn't want to waste himself on his wife, and I'm guessing his daughter as well. But you know, he told this guy to, you know, fuck his wife, and you know, it does I kind of feel bad for the old guy, but this guy NTR's a ugly bastard. Boku no Pico. As the man that has made multiple Boku no Pico openings, I will explain this story to you as not painful as possible. You could have seen this hentai being reviewed by multiple YouTubers, multiple prevalent YouTubers that are around today. So you might know what this is about, but let me explain it. This hentai is about a young boy named Pico, and yes, this is a boy. And he gets groomed by this guy into having like EDP. So he sees Pico in this sort of rock, naked, skinny dipping, and he eventually finds him in a restaurant owned by Pico's grandpa, and he just grooms him, alright? So I'm not gonna get too much into it because it's actually disgusting, but I'm just gonna describe the most famous scene in this hentai, which is the car ice cream scene. So in this scene, Pico has an ice cream, and the ice cream melts all over him. And this guy just starts licking the ice cream off of him and licking his. So yeah, it's some really nasty shit. Of course, Pico is. So this is.
What?
And yeah, this is pretty horrible. I wouldn't recommend this at all. But if you want to watch this for the jokes, then I guess you don't have a problem with you being on the FBI pedo list, alright? Sekai Elf Hatsujo no Magin. So in this hentai, this guy gets reincarnated into a new world, and he gets basically no weapons, no hoes, no nothing. He's just a normal guy. Well, he works in an inn, but this old man comes up to him and gives him a medallion. And this medallion allows him to, I guess, make people horny. And of course, he works in an inn, so the hero party checks in, and he gets to meet this fucking elf, alright? He uses this medallion on her because she was being a bitch, and he forces himself on her, but she ends up enjoying it, and it's basically an NTR story, right? But it doesn't feel like NTR. Otome Dori. This hentai is about a guy who hangs around with this beautiful ass pink-haired girl who is very popular, and all of the guys like her. And after he basically thinks he has a chance, he is given this video. And in this video, he sees the girl getting gangbanged by a bunch of men, and he masturbates to it. Yeah, this is kind of fucked up, but the scenes before this was pretty wholesome, but this is pretty fucked up. Gakuen no Ikene. So this hentai is like action-packed as fuck, alright? So I'm just gonna describe it really fast of what I saw. So this guy kidnaps this girl, and he wants to purify her because I guess she's unholy, and this guy tells her to do many acts in front of all of these like gangster dudes, and then like he just bites off her fucking eye, and then she just gets like a German Luger out of nowhere, and she you know blames her friend. It's like, if you were with me, none of this would happen. And yeah, so her friend came to save her from this situation because this priest, like, I guess, kidnapped her. And, you know, the same thing happens to her friend, but this is just action-packed as fuck, alright? From what I saw, it's just really crazy. It's literally crazy as hell. You know, I do recommend watching this, just because this is, like, actual good entertainment. But it's fucking crazy. Literally, so much shit is happening at the same time, you know. Like Jesus. Okay, like, look, she has a fucking gun. But yeah, let's go to the next one because this shit's just crazy. Shin Owari no Natsu. So this hentai starts off with a young girl, and she had walked into a shed, wondering what was inside of it. She gets hit in the head with a shovel, and it turns out this was the shed of a killer, a young boy named Hitoshi. After killing her, he buries her body in his front yard and meets with his sister after not seeing her for a long time, and he invites her to eat with him. But it turns out he laced the food and made her body paralyzed, and he then brings her to the shed and cuts her heels so she can't run away, He props her body into a table and dismembers her. He then buries her limbs in the yards and lights a candle and says, "Bye bye." And that's where it ends. So yeah, this hentai is pretty gory, alright? But this is just the start of it. So yeah, let's go ahead and go to the next one. Saki Sanobashi, or Go for a Punch. This is an anime that was supposedly released as an OVA in the 1980s and was told by a 4chan user in a post about disturbing things people have seen on the dark web, and he describes the anime as such. The anime is set inside a restroom with no windows or doors, and trapped inside this restroom are 9 girls with no way of getting out. After giving up of any escape, the girls start killing themselves in very gruesome ways, and the visuals are very, very disturbing. This anime sounds intriguing, does it? Well, as a person that posed as the original poster of the 4chan post, posted something on Reddit and told everyone that it was fake, and he gave proof that was very sus. But many still believe it's out there somewhere to be found, so if you want to go look for this and waste your time because this is probably fake, then go ahead. Shiku X Kanojo. So this hentai is about a girl named Natsuko who works at a convenience store as a cashier, and she's kidnapped from this creepy ass guy who was stalking her. And this guy was trying to save her from her boyfriend after discovering that he was selling her nudes to multiple people, and then he beats him with a fucking bat. Like, look at this scene. So when this guy kidnaps her, he starts being nice, and of course she is very worried, but after trying to feed her, he just beats her really bad. And these episodes, there's 3 episodes, and it's basically just an abuse victim. She basically tries to escape, and it ends with her committing suicide, and I'm pretty sure the guy also committed suicide. But yeah, this hentai is pretty gruesome. So yeah, that's basically it. Hachishaku Hachi wa Keroku Meguri. So this is about a woman, and she's based off a Japanese legend of an 8-foot tall woman with a long dress and pale skin that abducts children that goes to meet with their grandparents who normally live in very small towns. And you might be wondering, yes, that is very specific, that they only do it to these, but I'm pretty sure they do it to any children in general. But they are also known for making a sound. And this is a horror hentai, so I don't want to ruin some of the scary factors, so I'm just going to show you some art from the doujin and art from the hentai. And yeah, the doujin art is actually really good, so yeah, if you want to just watch something kind of cool, then I would recommend this. This isn't really too gory, but yeah, you can watch this. Doobata Kaigi. But this hentai is actually pretty funny and wholesome. So in this world, there's doors, and the keyholes are replaced with woman. And in order to open the door, you must put your dick inside of the keyhole and of course open it. But there's a woman, so of course the door actually talks because it is a woman. So here, I'm gonna show you some pictures, but yeah. Rape, rape, rape. This is a hentai where this guy with a mask just does what the title says, and he does this to multiple women. And I'm just gonna name the woman that he does this to: his childhood friend, elder sister, mom, police officer, nurse, twin sister, class president, pregnant woman, a bad girl. What the fuck is a bad girl? What the fuck is a bad bride? A camera nerd, homeless woman, a member of the gymnastic club, a female teacher, and a blind girl. And I have to thank the anime description because I didn't pay attention that much, but he did do what the title says. Rem no Kanmu Kairo. So this is a hentai where this girl from the series Dream Hunter Rem gets fucked by these really disgusting looking tentacles. And when I say disgusting, this shit looks disgusting as fuck. I literally cannot show it because the girl in it is naked, and I'm pretty sure I would just get flagged because how disgusting this look. But I will attempt to show you. I mean, look at this shit, alright? So yeah, it's pretty fucking disgusting. Euphoria. No, I'm not talking about the show with Zendaya in it. I'm talking about the original Euphoria, which is a hentai. And this hentai is basically the Saw of hentais. So in this hentai, there's 5 girls and 1 dude. And they have to go through multiple levels of extreme sexual acts, such as asphyxiation and scat. And if you don't know what scat is, it's basically shitting, alright? Some people have fetishes of that, and I have no idea why. It's fucking disgusting. So, of course, since this has scat, this hentai has multiple disgusting parts of it, but there's actually really good parts in this. Yeah, if you want something good, then this is decently. But, you know, the ending of this is weirder than what the fuck happened before. So, to sum it up, they somehow were able to escape the game and meet up with a sex cult, and this guy meets up with their leader, which is a female, and all of the girls from before basically get gangbanged by these guys, and so the main dude has sex with this girl, the leader. And yeah, this isn't too bad to watch, except for the scat scenes, which is just plain disgusting, but yeah, this is basically Euphoria. Metamorphosis. This hentai is mostly known as 177013, or the hentai that is known for ruining the sanities of those who read it because of the topics in this story. So this story is about a girl named Saki Yoshida, and she wants to change her appearance to get popular. So she changes her appearance pretty drastically, and this newfound attention from her appearance brings the worst kind of attention, the attention of a rapist. While she's in a convenience store, she gets hit on by this guy, and they meet up, and he drugs and rapes her. This is the downhill spiral of the madness of this hentai. So she becomes a prostitute in order to get money, but it begins to get more fucked up than just being a prostitute. So this gets even worse. She is found out in school to be a prostitute and is blackmailed by basically the whole football team to have sex with her. And her school life just gets ruined, and she goes back home, and her dad starts having sex with her because she resembles her mom from the past, and her mom gets mad at her and kicks her out. So she ends up living with the guy from before, and she changes her appearance once again. She is still addicted to drugs, and she continues to be a prostitute and ends up getting pregnant with one of her customers. And she is left behind from the guy from before and is left to fend for herself. And while in a park, she is raped by multiple homeless people, but these homeless people end up helping her and help her save money. So she lives in this encampment for homeless people for a very long time, and there's a pretty disturbing scene where she kind of has sex with a guy in a cardboard box in order to get money, and it clearly shows a picture of the baby inside, and yeah, it's pretty sad. I haven't been describing this like as descriptive and as sad as it actually is while reading it. It's absolutely horrible when you're reading it in person, but yeah. And while trying to save enough money for a new life with her daughter, she's greeted by a bunch of college students, and these college students end up stomping her and stomping her baby, and the baby dies. As she gets away and looks at her reflection in the restroom mirror, she is reminded of her past and sees a vision of the future that could have happened. And she has a flashback where she's sitting at a park and she sees her daughter, and her daughter asks what is wrong and tells her that her past was a very hard time in her life and how her daughter saved her. As she hugs her daughter, she is snapped back into reality and says, "I was finally reborn," and dies. Nisan Nitori. This hentai is just a woman shoving a little boy up her, you know what, and this boy, I'm pretty sure this is like some sort of vor, but he gets crushed because he's inside of her, and yeah, this is really disturbing to look at. So yeah, this isn't actually that bad compared to what's ahead, but yeah, it's still pretty disturbing. Shin Gendai Ryokoden. This is a hentai about multiple murders done in Japan, but the most famous case in this hentai is the case of Junko Furuta. Junko Furuta was a Japanese high school girl who was kidnapped and who was riding her bike and was approached by these horrible people. And this period of time of her kidnapping is known as the 44 Days of Hell. During this period of time, she was beaten and stabbed and was gangbanged by multiple people including the Yakuza, as these people had connections with the Yakuza, and that was one of the reasons why she was afraid of them. And she was starved for long periods of time and was forced to eat things such as cockroaches and glass. So when I originally was trying to find more information about this, I wasn't able to find the manga, and I eventually did find it, and I kind of regret it. I've only heard of the story of real life, and I have not seen any visuals to it, and seeing visuals to it makes it 10 times worse. So this manga follows it basically the same stuff, such as them burning her skin and just repeatedly punching her. It actually really hurt to read, because when you put visuals to the story and you know that she was kind of treated badly, there was basically no justice for what happened to her, and as you would have guessed, she did not survive this. I would recommend watching more videos for information about this case, because it is actually really disturbing and brutal. Rojirua no Elo. This hentai is a scat hentai about a lolly who can control her shit like a Stan from JoJo's, and this shit is like nasty as fuck. Like in this hentai, you see this guy eating her shit, and her shit just turns to a monster, which also fucks her. And yeah, this is really nasty. Like holy fuck, this is so nasty. Like Jesus Christ. Since I can't really show anything from this, I'm gonna show it to one of my friends, because I like torturing my friends. So let me go show this to them. God damn, fuck, that will answer. I guess you don't want to see what I'm about to show. Hello?
Yeah.
Alright, bro. I'm gonna show you some images, and you have to give me your genuine reaction.
Alright.
And if your mic sounds bad in this video, that's your fault. Alright, bro. Alright, bro.
Alright, let me see it.
Let me just screen record it.
I don't know if I can look at this. What the? Okay.
Okay, bro.
Okay.
What's your thoughts?
Okay. First, is that a kid?
Yes.
Who drew that? And then like approved of it?
The guy named Kulo Maki.
That's just crazy, bro. I don't even know what I just looked at. It was just it's just a lot, bro. That's all I can say. Is that all? Or is that all you needed?
Yeah, that's all. So I guess he didn't like this as well. Let's just go to the next one. Also ino ni mitoraraeta to otoko. So in this hentai, there's a trap who is basically forced to have sex with his dog, and is also forced to act like a dog, and yeah, this is disgusting. So it seems that he's being forced by these very rich looking people, and like Jesus Christ. So I'm just gonna show a really heavily censored picture of this, and at the end of this there is a panel of these puppies sucking on his tits and his pee-pee, alright? And it's very fucking disturbing, alright? This is like literally disturbing as fuck. So yeah. Mai-chan's Daily Life. Mai-chan's Daily Life is a hentai about a girl named Mai, and she is some sort of immortal being. No matter what you do to her body, she basically cannot die. The first thing she does in this manga is commit seppuku in the middle of a park where there's like a lot of people, of course including children. And if you don't know what seppuku is basically the way Japanese samurais killed themselves from being dishonored. But this hentai follows Mai, and she just basically gets fucking mutilated. And there's like a fucking like tiger scene that is just absolutely crazy. And there's a lot more stuff, but it's just being gory for no reason other than to be gory, alright? Also, I'm pretty sure this was made by the same person that made the Junko Furuta one. And I'm pretty sure this author just loves to make the most fucked up shit possible, okay? It's basically like stuff from the 2000s here in the fucking West, where there's a bunch of edgy stuff, except this was just made in Japan by some dude in his fucking basement. So yeah. Jigoku no Kisetsu. So this hentai is an anthology hentai where multiple artists create basically their own hentais, but they add them together. And this hentai is specifically about the most fucked up shit you could think of. And just for an example of the fucked up shit there is, the cover of this hentai is a woman in a bathtub with just body parts in it, right? There's just straight up fucking body parts of fucking children, alright? But yeah, this basically is hentai. I don't want to get my channel another strike, so I'm not going to describe it to avoid a strike. Me in the box. This hentai is about a little girl who is put in a box and is sold off to multiple people and has sex with them. So this girl is put in this box because her parents sold her off when she was years old. And the saddest part about this hentai is it shows a scene where she is in a box and she has counted the days because her parents promised her that she would return when she turns 9 years old. And as you can see from the image, she has spent 899 days in that box. And she still believes that her parents will come to get her. And yeah, that makes this hentai really sad. Edogross. This is another anthology of disturbing content. Well, unlike the other one, this one actually has somewhat of a story. So the first one is about an idol getting mutilated by this Jason Voorhees looking character with a child mask on. So this guy mutilates her and cuts off her arms, and she is then raped by these guys, and of course she has no hands or legs, and at the end of this she is put into a jar. And no, I'm not talking about a cum jar. She's just put into a jar with all of her body parts in it. I can't really describe the other parts of this because I can't read Japanese. So I have no idea what they're saying or what they're doing in the other parts. So yeah. Winter Summer of Alien. This is a hentai where this girl has sex with these huge ass bugs. And yeah, that's it. This one is actually not that bad or disturbing to look at. Of course, you could call this disgusting depending on what you're into, but this one isn't actually that bad. Two incubus and a livestock daughter. So this hentai is about this girl giving birth to a horse, and there's these two succubus that help her out, and I guess they also help themselves out by using the horse's legs to you know what. This one is actually fucking disgusting as hell. So I can't even show anything, alright? I literally cannot show anything of this because of how disgusting this is. But you know me, I always like to push the limits, so I'm gonna show something. But yeah, here it is. Don't say you don't regret looking at this, alright? Because this is disgusting. Goblin Lord Gakatahi. So this is about the anime slash manga Goblin Slayer, and this is basically just visuals of the main girls in this getting fucked by goblins. And of course they get raped, and I'm pretty sure they also get cut. But this is basically some normal goblin shit. There's nothing really disturbing in this. So this is just visuals of the goblins having sex with the main girls in the anime, and that's basically it. So if you wondered, I want to see these girls having sex with the goblins. Here we go. Alright, this is the end of the iceberg. So my channel has got a total of 2 strikes, and my alternate channels has gotten also 2 strikes, and one has gotten taken down for basically uploading this video. So this video, I censored so much stuff that it just seems stupid, but I'm not taking a chance because my channel, I don't want it to get a strike. In fact, this video is probably made way before this is uploaded. I probably waited until I at least had only one community guideline strike. I currently have two as recording of this audio. But yeah, you know, this video took a long ass time to make back in the day. As of recording this now, it's probably been 4 months since I originally made this video. And it got a strike a month later, and I went on a break for 3 months. And yeah, this video is just fucking crazy. YouTube has recently gotten a new thing where sexual content is more accepted in, I guess, more of my favor. I'm guessing, I hope at least. So I hope this video comes out. If you're hearing this, it does. It had came out, of course. You're fucking watching this. But yeah, just unnecessary stuff is blocked, basically. That seems normal. Just like age and some minor sexual stuff. Alright? So yeah, I just try to get as much stuff away from me getting a community guideline strike. And I hope I don't get one again, because this took forever to fucking make, upload, and all that stuff. So yeah, if you're having a good day, have a good day. All right. If you're having a bad day, have a better day. All right. So yeah, that's basically it. This video took forever to make, and yeah, I'm finally gonna go fucking make more videos because I can't rest. I haven't uploaded shit.